My girlfriend flew to Miami to party on a yacht with a crypto guy she'd been DMing for months, then called me her little computer nerd for being mad about it. When I confronted her, she ruffled my hair and said, I could have stayed in Miami, but I came back to Jersey for you. I just stared at her. That was a year ago. This morning, she was pumping gas into a beat-up Civic in baggy sweats, shoulders hunched like she wanted to disappear. My ex Ashley thought our relationship was charity work. Every time we went somewhere together, she'd find ways to remind me I'd never find someone like her again. It started with her introducing me as just a friend at bars. When guys hit on her, she'd let them buy her drinks, then mention she had a boyfriend after. You should see their faces when I point to you, she'd laugh later. The shock is hilarious. The worst was when she just disappeared one Saturday. No text, nothing. Then I saw her Instagram story, Ashley on some yacht, wearing basically a string bikini, sitting on some guy's lap while he popped champagne. Videos of her dancing with a bunch of rich dudes, them doing body shots off her stomach. Best day ever, with location tag, Miami Beach. We live in Jersey. When she came back Sunday night, sunburnt and hungover, I was furious. Where the F were you? She rolled her eyes. Tom invited me to his yacht party last minute. It was a networking opportunity. Tom was some crypto guy who'd been DMing her for months. You went to Miami without telling me? She laughed. Actually laughed. It was last minute, babe. These chances don't come often. When I showed her the videos of her grinding on those guys, she shrugged. It's a boat thing. Everyone was dancing. Don't be so uptight. You're in a relationship, I yelled. Yeah, and I came back, didn't I? She ruffled my hair like I was a child. I could have stayed in Miami. Tom has this insane condo. He wanted to fly me to Ibiza next week. She pinched my cheek. But I came back to Jersey, to my little computer nerd, my anxious overthinker who's mad about a boat party. She kicked off her heels and collapsed on my bed. I looked past all these red flags with rose-colored glasses until the one-year anniversary incident happened. I planned everything perfectly, just for her on our anniversary. Flowers in hand, champagne in my car, reservation at her favorite restaurant. I was about to knock on her apartment door to surprise her when I heard voices through her open window. Ashley and her friends, all Instagram model types who made fun of me whenever they visited. Ash, I still don't get it, her friend Jenna was saying. Why are you with him? You could have literally anyone. I stepped closer to the window, still holding the roses like an idiot. Ashley laughed. You want to know a secret? He'll never leave me. Ever. I could do anything and he'd take it. I have complete freedom. I go to Miami, he waits. I hang with my exes, he deals with it. Tom keeps flying me places. Brad takes me to dinner. But this one? She laughed again. He worships me. Like actually worships me. But don't you want someone better? Another voice asked. Eventually, yeah. But you know how Brad destroyed my confidence when he cheated with that bartender? This one looks at me like I'm God. He tells me I'm perfect every morning. Begs me not to leave him. I need that right now. I heard them all giggling. Once I feel like myself again, I'll find someone on my level. But for now, he's exactly what my ego needs. Like therapy, but free. They all burst out laughing. I stood there, flowers in hand, and knew something had to change. She needed me for her ego. Time to take away her supply. I spent the next 2 weeks planning exactly how to destroy what Brad had already cracked. Thursday night, I sat at my computer for 3 hours, setting up the perfect fake Instagram account. I picked the name NJ Gossip Watch and used some stock photo of Newark skyline as the profile pic. I spent time following all of Ashley's friends, the bars she went to every weekend, and Tom's whole crew of crypto bros. I posted 10 generic photos of Newark nightlife I found online, backdated them over the past few weeks to make the account look real. Friday came, and Ashley texted me she'd be late to our dinner at Fornos. I sat there for 40 minutes drinking water and watching the door, while the waiter kept asking if I wanted to order. She finally walked in, wearing this tight red dress I'd never seen before. She sat down and immediately started scrolling through her phone, barely looking at me. She turned her screen toward me, showing some DM from a random guy calling her a goddess, then another one saying she was perfection. She kept showing me these messages like I should be impressed that other guys wanted her. Between our appetizer and main course, she mentioned Tom wanted to fly her to Art Basel next month. She asked if I minded since it was just for networking. I smiled and told her it sounded amazing, and she deserved opportunities like that. She reached over and patted my hand like I was a little kid who'd given the right answer. After dinner, she wanted to stop by Brass Monkey for drinks. Rachel was working the bar and gave us this look when we walked in, like she knew something was up. Ashley immediately walked over to a group of guys in suits near the pool table and started talking to them. I heard her introduce me as her friend from work. One of the finance bros was already drunk and asked Ashley loud enough for everyone to hear why she was with me when she could have anyone. Ashley laughed and said I was like a puppy, loyal and harmless and always happy to see her. The whole group laughed while I stood there holding her purse. Saturday morning, I woke up alone in my apartment. I checked Instagram and Ashley had already posted from brunch in Montclair with Jenna and Tom. The caption said, "Surround yourself with people who match your energy," with a sparkle emoji. My phone buzzed with a text from Marcus saying Phase 1 was ready when I was. I opened my laptop and logged into the NJ Gossip Watch account. I had the perfect photo Rachel had sent me from last week of Ashley kissing Tom at Brass. I posted it with the caption about a local influencer getting cozy with a crypto bro even though she had a boyfriend. Within an hour, the post had 40 comments and people were already sharing it. Ashley's follower count started going up and down as people figured out who the post was about. She hadn't seen it yet since she never checked accounts without blue checks. Around noon, Jenna must have shown Ashley the post post because my phone started ringing nonstop. Ashley was screaming about some stalker posting lies about her online. I played the concerned boyfriend, told her I'd report the account and not to worry about stupid gossip. That night, she showed up at my apartment in tears, something I'd never seen before. She kept saying if brands saw this, they'd drop her and her reputation would be ruined. I held her while she cried and quietly took screenshots of her saying her brand deals mattered more than anything else, including our relationship. 2 days passed with Ashley posting crying selfies and rants about online bullies before I decided it was time for round 2. Sunday afternoon, I grabbed my phone and logged into the fake account, scrolling through Rachel's photos until I found the perfect one. Ashley leaving Brass with some guy in a suit from 3 weeks ago, her hand on his chest, both of them laughing. The timestamp showed 2 a.m. when she'd told me she was home with a headache. I uploaded it with a caption about her having different flavors every night and watched the likes start rolling in within minutes. Ashley must have been checking her phone constantly because her response came fast. She started posting old couple photos of us, ones from months ago at the shore, at her cousin's wedding, anywhere we'd looked happy together. The captions were desperate, talking about true love and not believing rumors and how jealous people try to tear down success. The comments section turned brutal immediately with people calling her fake, asking about Tom, asking about the yacht, tagging me to ask if I knew what was happening. Someone posted screenshots comparing her lovey posts to the gossip account photos, pointing out the timeline didn't add up. Monday morning, my phone rang while I was getting ready for work, and Derek's name popped up on the screen. I answered, and he immediately asked what was going on with these posts about Ashley. I played confused, told him Ashley said someone was stalking her and making up lies, that I was trying to help her figure out who it was. Derek went quiet for a moment, then admitted his sister had always been careless about how she treated people. He said maybe this was karma catching up, but he hoped she'd learn from it. Tuesday, I met Marcus at a coffee shop in Journal Square where he slid into the booth looking stressed. He told me Tom was getting nervous about all the attention, that his investors didn't like drama and were asking questions about his personal life. We talked about the next phase while I stirred my coffee, discussing how to make sure Tom and Brad both knew about each other since Ashley had been playing them both for months. Marcus said he could handle Tom's side through their Telegram group while I figured out Brad. Wednesday, I posted another photo, this one showing Ashley at some rooftop bar with Brad's arm around her, dated 2 weeks ago when she'd supposedly been at her mom's house. Thursday, I sent anonymous messages from a burner email to both Tom and Brad, telling them Ashley would be at Brass alone that night looking for comfort after her boyfriend left her. Friday morning changed everything when Ashley showed up at my office building. I was walking through the lobby with my coffee when I heard her screaming my name from the entrance. She pushed past the security desk and ran toward me, her face red and twisted with rage. She started yelling that she knew I was behind the account, that I was trying to ruin her life because I was pathetic and jealous. People stopped to stare as she grabbed my shirt, shaking me while screaming about how I'd never find anyone better than her. Security guards pulled her off me and started dragging her toward the exit while she kept screaming threats and insults. The timing of these posts is really making me wonder about his actual motivations here. He says he wants to destroy her ego, but spending 3 hours making a fake account seems like there's something deeper going on beneath all this careful planning. My coworkers stood frozen in the lobby, some recording on their phones, others just staring in shock. 20 minutes later, my boss called me into his office, closed the door, and asked if everything was okay at home. I told him Ashley and I were having problems, and I was sorry about the scene. He said he understood breakups were hard, but I couldn't have that drama affecting the workplace. After the work incident, I texted Ashley that I needed space to think about our relationship. Her response came in waves over the next 3 days, starting with rage texts calling me pathetic, weak, a loser who'd die alone, then switching to desperate apologies, begging me not to leave, promising she'd change, saying she loved me. Her Instagram stories showed a different story though, partying every single night at different clubs, clearly drunk in most of them, surrounded by random guys trying to prove she didn't need me. Rachel texted me Wednesday night with updates from the bar, saying Ashley had been there every night that week getting blackout drunk and crying about her ruined reputation. According to Rachel, Ashley was telling anyone who would listen that I was trying to destroy her because I couldn't handle her success, that I was jealous of her lifestyle and the attention she got from other men. Thursday came, and I knew Ashley would be at Brass like clockwork since it was ladies' night. I made sure both anonymous tips to Tom and Brad mentioned she'd be there alone and vulnerable, needing someone to comfort her after her controlling boyfriend had abandoned her. That night, I sat at home refreshing Instagram, waiting for the explosion I knew was coming. The first video appeared around 11 p.m. showing Tom walking into Brass, then 5 minutes later, another showing Brad arriving. Someone was live streaming when the confrontation started, Tom approaching Ashley at the bar just as Brad came up from the other side. You could hear Tom's voice over the music calling her a professional gold digger, saying she'd been playing him for months, taking his money while living with her boyfriend. Brad jumped in, revealing she'd been sexting him their entire relationship, sending him nudes while I was at work, telling him she was only with me for stability until she found something better. Ashley tried to deny it, but both guys had receipts, Tom showing Telegram messages, Brad showing texts, both comparing dates and times. The crowd formed a circle as the argument got louder, Ashley crying and trying trying to leave, but Tom blocking her path, demanding she pay back the money he'd spent on her. More videos kept appearing from different angles. Someone caught Brad throwing a drink in Ashley's face. Another showed her trying to slap Tom before security stepped in. By midnight, the videos were all over Newark social media, shared in every local Facebook group, posted on the Newark subreddit, spreading through Instagram stories. Ashley's follower count started dropping in real time, going from 47,000 to 42,000 overnight as people unfollowed in waves. Brands started unliking her sponsored posts, removing their tags, distancing themselves from the drama. She called me at 3 a.m., sobbing so hard I could barely understand her, begging me to make it stop, saying her life was ruined, but I let it go to voicemail. Saturday morning, Marcus forwarded me a screenshot from Tom's Telegram where he'd written that his psycho ex had cost him 2 investors who saw the videos and didn't want to be associated with the drama. The weekend hit different when you're watching someone's life fall apart in real time. I sat in my apartment Saturday morning scrolling through my phone as Ashley's texts kept coming, each one nastier than the last, threatening to call my boss, to tell everyone I was some kind of stalker, to make sure I never got another job in tech again. My phone buzzed with an Instagram notification from Jenna saying Ashley was losing it and planning something bad, that she'd been talking crazy about me all morning at their brunch spot. I put my phone down and tried to focus on work, but kept checking social media where more videos from the bar kept surfacing, each one making Ashley look worse as people added their own stories about times she'd used them or treated them like dirt. Sunday morning, someone knocked on my door, and when I opened it, Derek was standing there looking exhausted, saying he'd seen all the videos and had no idea his sister had been treating people this way for years. He sat on my couch and explained how their parents had been paying for her apartment, her car, everything while she pretended to be building her modeling career. But after seeing those bar videos and the gossip posts, they were cutting her off completely because their dad's business partners were asking questions. Derek looked genuinely sorry as he told me Ashley had been doing this since high school, using guys for validation while their family made excuses for her behavior. But this time she'd gone too far, and even they couldn't defend her anymore. That night around midnight, I heard pounding on my door and Ashley's voice screaming that I'd ruined everything, trying to push past me when I cracked the door open, completely wasted and yelling so loud that my neighbor across the hall called the cops while another neighbor filmed everything on their phone. When the police showed up, Ashley tried telling them I'd been stalking her, but she was slurring her words so bad and stumbling around that they just looked at each other and asked if I wanted to press charges for harassment. The next morning, an officer came back with paperwork for a restraining order, telling me I should file it for my own protection, since these situations tend to get worse before they get better, and handed me a case number for the incident report. Monday at work, my boss pulled me into his office saying Ashley had called HR claiming I was harassing her, but I showed him the police report from the night before, screenshots of her threatening texts, and the video my neighbor had sent me of her pounding on my door drunk, so he just nodded and said HR would handle it from their end. Marcus came over that night and helped me organize everything into folders on my laptop, all the screenshots of her texts admitting she'd been using me, Rachel's photos from the bar, the police reports, the threatening messages, everything dated and backed up to the cloud just in case. He kept reminding me that I wasn't trying to destroy her, just protecting myself and removing myself from her chaos, which helped when I started feeling guilty about everything that was happening. Tuesday morning, NJ Gossip Watch posted their biggest story yet with the title, The Rise and Fall of a Newark Influencer, including the bar fight videos, screenshots someone had sent them of Ashley calling me her puppy in group chats, and comments from a dozen people sharing their own stories about how she'd used them over the years. The post went viral locally with over 10,000 shares by noon, and that's when Ashley completely lost it and posted photos of me on her Instagram that she'd taken when we were together. Private photos I didn't even know she had, calling me abusive and controlling in the captions, even though anyone could see from the timeline that she was lying. Rachel saw them first and screenshotted everything before Ashley deleted them an hour later, probably when someone told her she'd just committed a crime by posting revenge porn. But by then, Rachel had already sent me the evidence and told me to call a lawyer immediately. 2 days later, I walked into the Newark police station with Rachel's screenshots printed out and my lawyer beside me. The detective took one look at the evidence and shook his head while filling out the report. He said charges would definitely be filed since the metadata proved Ashley posted them herself. That same afternoon, Tom's whole world fell apart when the SEC showed up at his WeWork space in Jersey City. They seized computers and boxes of documents while everyone in the building watched through the glass walls. Ashley's name kept coming up because of all the trips and gifts he gave her. She wasn't getting arrested for that, but everyone in her circle knew she was connected to the mess. Brad texted me that night asking if we could talk. We met at a diner off Route 3 and he looked exhausted. He told me Ashley played us both and that when he cheated on her, he created a monster. Said she'd been trying to hurt everyone else the way he hurt her. I went back to work Monday morning trying to act normal, but everyone already knew. People stopped talking when I walked by the break room. My boss said my work was fine, but I could tell he was worried about the drama. I ate lunch at my desk, watching my coworkers whisper about